Hey guys, Eric from Alpha Advisors here today with another video. Today, another news video about MBA interview questions, my favorite subject. MBA interview, guys, it is a must. It is a door that everybody goes through. It's nerve-wracking, it's difficult. People spend a lot of time preparing for it and a lot of practice to prepare for it. And let's go ahead and talk a little bit about why these interviewers ask you these questions and the purpose behind it. So you can have a better understanding of why in terms of the nature of these questions, so you can prepare better for the MBA interview questions. All right. So let's go ahead and do this new style again once again, shall we? The MBA interview questions. So this is from Indeed.com. There are plenty of other websites out there, okay, guys, but I'm just gonna taking out I'm giving a website to look at and do a review and make commentary on it. So here's what we're doing. Okay. So let's go ahead and read this through. Okay. MBA is a graduate degree program that teaches students business related disciplines to help further develop their careers in business and management. This is actually really, it's so duh, right? I mean, of course, but this is actually the core of it. And that's why many of these questions are shaped to help supplement, um, essentially get down into this right here, and find out who you are and your story in terms of your career in business and management. Okay, so the MBA interview is the final step in the application process that will allow you to explain to the admissions department why you belong in their program. And knowing the questions the interviewer might ask can help you prepare for what may be an in-depth interview. So really quick, depending on the business schools, okay, you may get an interview, a one-time interview with a member of the admissions committee uh, with your school, and that might be it. You may, for some programs, make you do that similar interview, which range around it lasts right around 40 to 50 minutes. And then on separate note, in the application process, they'll make you do a video interview, submitting your video. They also call it a video essay as well. So there's that. And another pattern that is pretty common is you have an alumni conduct the interview. And again, depending on who's interviewing you, follows a set structure of the interview. And the nature of the question is it becomes fairly linear and somewhat easier. I wouldn't say easy to predict, but you'll get this a general understanding of the types of questions that you get asked depending on who's interviewing you. All right, we'll get right into that. So let's talk a little bit more about the article, shall we? So let's see. Related top 10. Okay, this is a different one. What is an MBA admissions interview? For those that are new into the channel, let me go ahead and explain this. An MBA admissions interview is the meeting that takes place when a business administration master's program believes in your potential. Your interview invitation allows you to prepare for a variety of interview styles. Many MBA admissions interviews consist of a mix of general questions and behavioral or situational questions. Knowing about the program as well as yourself is important, in preparing your answers for situational questions allows you to remember distinct situations and experiences when asked. An interview request means the program likes what's on your resume, and a successful interview allows the admissions department to make their final decision. Okay, so these two paragraphs, it talks a lot, right? First and foremost, looking at the interview invitation allows you to prepare for a variety of interview styles. Okay. Many MBA admissions interview consists of mix up general questions. What that means is it essentially general Q&A, right? From introduction to why you're pursuing an MBA, right? I mean, those basic and fundamental questions. And then the second half of the interview is going to be about those behavioral or situational questions, right? Questions like, tell me about a time that you led a successful team, led a team to a successful project. What did you do and what was the result, right? Or maybe another type of question would be like, tell me about a time that you had to overcome a failure, right? What did you do? What was it? What did you learn from it, right? Those are the types of behavioral or situational questions that we're talking about here. And knowing about the program, and this is the key. This is really the core of your preparation. Knowing the business program as well as yourself is an important in preparing your answers for situational questions. So this is wrong. It's not just situational questions. It's really for the general questions as well. And your behavior. It's everything, right? So let me go ahead and share it again. It's your story, okay? Why are you applying to business school? Why are you applying to a XYZ program, right? That really comes through soul searching. That comes through, your story as a person, and explaining and be able to essentially tell your story to others, right? I mean, you're gonna get asked this all the time, from your school, your job search, recruiting. They're going to ask you, so why did you go to XYZ business school? Or what made you decide to get an MBA? Everybody's going to ask you this type of question. So be prepared to answer that question now. And that is precisely why business schools follow this pattern of interview, because employers, this is how they conduct in the United States. That's how they conduct interviews, with a mix of general questions and behavioral questions, consisting about 40 to 50 minutes for MBA programs. For EMBA, for executive MBA programs, I've heard interviews lasting for more than an hour. So that's a whole nother different story there. But really honing in on knowing the programs. So guys, it happens all the time where you ask a candidate, or I would ask the candidate when I've interviewed like 500 candidates when I was going to an MBA, and also helping our clients at Alpha, that when I ask this question, so what made you, how did you get to know about the school? Excuse me, what made you decide to apply for the program? Right, I would ask that question, and they would tell me, oh, it's because of the high rankings, right? And I would say, well, that's how you got to know about the school, right? So tell me why. Like, why does the high ranking matter to you? Why is that important? And the thing is, and that's the worst answer you could give, because it's so shallow. And if you get asked a follow-up question, why is ranking important, for example, right? It becomes just much more harder to answer, and your answers are so, because the nature of the answer is shallow, therefore your story becomes shallow, and it reflects on everything, your impression, and because remember, your competition is literally, some of your competition is literally giving up their life. They may have lost a loved one, which inspired them to pivot their entire life, and saw that this particular school was the best choice to make in order for them to achieve their long-term goal, that may be about saving lives, or making an incredible innovation in tech industry, or whatever the case may be. And so the answer of the rankings is high is the most ridiculous and answer you could give. So I'm just going to say that really quick. Okay, so you have to know about the program. What specifically about the program made you apply, right? Is it the curriculum? Is it the alumni? Is it the location? Is it, I mean, you can say that you've gotten through through your research, through rankings and placement reports and all that, and you have to do all that research. And of course, this also involves your career, right? Let's say you want to work for Amazon or some tech company. Well, going to a school in California or Seattle, and being able to say something like, "I want to work for a company like Amazon," or in the tech industry, which I'm really passionate about. So that's why the location makes more sense when it comes to recruiting and networking and et cetera, et cetera. So location and what you want to do after your MBA, that's how it fits in there, right? So important. Knowing yourself, your story, is basically the foundation of your long-term goal, and therefore which justifies your short-term goal in your choice of business programs. And so you're knowing yourself, going through the self-reflection is super important, and it's really hard to do that, guys. Our clients come to us all the time, and they just have a real issue, a real challenge in doing this. And so, all right, let's get to it. General questions, guys. Okay, so what makes you want to pursue a master's degree? Why have you chosen to apply to our school? What are your concerns about getting an MBA? Okay, so these are all really, again, these are all general questions, guys. If you really know your story, you should be able to answer all this backwards. I mean, that's the kind of proficiency you want to have, right? So one suggestion that I'll make to you is if you're the type that thinks that are able to think at top by the top of their mind and talk and recite it, that's great. Good for you. Good for you. You must be in the top 1% that are able to do that. One suggestion I do for 99% of the people out there is to write it down on a paper. Save it. Open your OneNote, get out a piece of paper, whatever you may want to do, just write it out. And as you do so, and just like the resume or your essays, you'll start to refine things. Your wordings will change, your expression will change as you put it on paper and it gets more refined. So I'll put it on paper or write it out on your digital notes. All right. What are the 3 words people would describe you? Do you think your grades are an indication of your academic achievement? Give an example of how you apply the knowledge from previous class or college to real world situation. What is your biggest weakness? So these are general, okay? Resume focused questions. Questions are asked to learn more about your accomplishments, goals, and how you intend to apply your MBA to your career aspiration, okay? What are you most proud of in your resume? These are, I would say these are definitely more in the general questions area. Again, I think there's just 2 types, general questions and behavior-based questions. Those are 2 types. Everything else is the same. So resume-focused questions, it says it's general questions, situational questions. There we go. This is a hard one. Now, let's go read through some of this. This is a more of a sample. Were you forced to make an unpopular decision, right? Were you faced with an ethical dilemma? When you're a leader, ... when we're tolerant of an opinion different from your own. So here's my tip to you, and this is what I advise our clients. Have 4 stories made up in total, 1 each in these categories: leadership, teamwork, innovation, and data. Okay. Have 1 story made for each of those categories, and you'll be able to answer almost everything out there. And with considering the time of the interview, you're not gonna. I don't think you'll have time to answer more than 3, if things are going well. So I would have those keep those categories in mind: teamwork, leadership, innovation, and suddenly I blanked my mind, and data, or data or innovation, and also teamwork and failure might be a good one too. All right, so interview questions with sample answers. Let's look at this, shall we? Let's go ahead and evaluate this. Can you tell me about yourself? Oh, come on. Okay, general questions, right? Easy. Not quite. Let's go ahead and check this out. Applicants who prepare a statement usually have an easier time answering this question. Craft your answer to highlight your capabilities to succeed in their program, blah, blah, blah. Let's go ahead and just read the example. I've always inspired myself to reach my goals because my vision is important to me. I've completed the education that was required of me and used every piece of knowledge in my job. However, I'm ready to develop my career and obtain the job I've always wanted. I've worked incredibly hard to get to where I am today and plan to achieve my goals of completing this program. My education definitely prepared me for my first job out of college, but I want to aspire to do more in my life. My current education can only take me so far, and I'm already learned these skills, and gain the knowledge in this program to have the opportunity to work in a better position at my dream company. Okay, so what I recommend to clients to do is this is, again, it's about storytelling, and introducing yourself is the start of your story, right? I would start with let's go ahead and shut this down. There we go. I would start out with your background, what you did before, right? You studied XYZ degree at YZA university, right? whatever the case may be. And studied the economics or business or education. Graduated in 2000 and something. And talk about your first job, talk about your second job, right? So that's what you did before. Today, what currently, right? That's the transitional words you can use. I am a XYZ manager working at Deloitte, doing XYZ, right? And then transition to the next. For the next steps, right? Or I have a long-term goal, or my passion is to build sustainability, or have responsibility to create and develop sustainable action plans for large corporations in the fashion industry. And so to accomplish that, I decided to as my first steps to pursue an MBA at the Northwestern at the Kellogg, and to be better equipped and develop my leadership skills, and study further principles in business, and specifically in marketing, right? I mean, I'm just making it up, but the structure is what I want to say. What you did before, what you're doing now, and what you want to do next. And that's why you're pursuing an MBA at Harvard Business School, right? This exercise, this structure is going to is the basis of storytelling, and tying it in to why that business school, it's got to be, you be prepared to say with every single answer with the general questions. So things like, let's see, for example, next question. Can you tell me about a time when you worked closely with someone who had a different personality than you? This is a behavior-based question, so let's go ahead and skip that. But so it's going back to the general questions. Why have you chosen to apply to this school? Well, this is a given because you're answering that. So maybe a different question about things like, what is your biggest weakness, right? Well, my biggest weakness is I have a tendency of, or I lack the understanding of the finance world, right? Or perhaps it could be anything really, leadership qualities, specific business discipline, whatever the case may be. But at the very end, tying that in to, and this is why I want to apply to the Yale Business School, because of its strong emphasis, and this is the part that you need to do your research, because of its strong emphasis of this particular issue, and support the not only the curriculum but the networking. Yeah, the employment record from the school is that's the part that you kind of relate to, right? And this is why, to really supplement, not supplement, to overcome my weakness, I feel that because of that, I feel that going to Tuck Business School is the best option for me, right? Because you need to be able to hire tie in every single time, and get used to that. All right, guys. So interview questions are just a bomb. It's fun. I'm not the best public speaker, obviously, but with practice and our advisors who are professionals, and who are professional public speakers as well, they can help you. We can help you. Okay. Come chat with us. Come visit our website. Let us know where you're at in your application process, or even your job search, because your interview process, it follows similar patterns, right? So come chat with us and let us help you out. As always, like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.